Thank you for all of your support for our petition to bring blood donation back to Northern BC. We've had a lot of people who've shared their stories about what blood donation has meant to them, about how donor blood has helped members of their families, and about why they want to give here in Northern BC again. Now, we have a couple who have a very interesting story to tell because they have seen all three of those aspects. Lauren Phillips and Dean Price are both residents of Prince George, and they're here to tell us their story. Welcome to you both.
Hello.
Hello.
Lauren, why don't we start with you? Could you tell us why did you start donating blood?
Well, actually, Dean was a blood donor before I met him,
Mhm.
and I think it's probably something I would have eventually gotten engaged with anyways. But when we first got together and he was heading in, he brought me, and it was a pretty easy, natural fit. So
Yeah,
kept going with him.
That's why I decided to keep her once you gave blood, found a good one.
that's good. That's terrific. And that was in Dean, that was in the Prince George Donor Center that you were giving?
Yes.
Yeah, terrific. What did it mean to you then, Dean, if you could tell us when they shut down the donor center in 2015, what was going through your mind?
My biggest question was why? Why would they shut that down? Here, as far as I remember, we out gave Kamloops and Kelowna there. I think we had yeah, we had lots of people coming out there and it was super great to see people. They were friendly and yeah, it was just great to give. And I just didn't understand why they did that.
Yeah. Lauren, when you traveled, were you able to give at any other Canadian Blood Services sites at all?
Yeah, I remember giving a couple times in Vancouver, and we've tried to do that a little bit since. And I wasn't always able to give because occasionally I'd have low hemoglobin and they'd
Yeah.
turn me away and say, give it a couple months and then come back. But when I could, I did. So it was nice to do it in Prince George and also seemed pretty strange when it closed. It seemed like a real shame. It's
Yeah.
people, something people take pride in and people like to do. Um, so it seemed a real letdown for our community.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. Now, Dean, you've given blood, but you've also benefited from blood. Can you tell us more about that and what it means to you?
Yeah, in 2020, I got diagnosed with a blood cancer called lymphoplasmatic lymphoma. And for the first, took a little while to kind of figure out what was going on in my body. And my hemoglobin dropped to dangerously low levels. And so I benefited from um, getting blood there and it would bring my hemoglobin back up to a level that they were not too worried about me there. And it took about 3 months during my chemo treatment there that I went in, I'd get blood, and then once a week I'd go in and get some. And there was about I don't know 5 or 6 times I went in. A couple of times I had to go to emergency and get a couple pints. But yeah, I was very appreciative of it, and yeah, that kind of saved my life there for the first couple go arounds. Yes.
Yeah, it
Did
was
it
pretty rough.
feel,
He was getting transfusions every few days for a little bit there, just to keep him alive until they were able to figure out the treatment side.
wow. Yeah. So I guess in that case, it really became abundantly clear to you about how, the donations that you'd done years before and that had been, in some respects, kind of paid back to you, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah. What would it mean to you, do you think, if we were able to bring blood donation back to Northern BC?
Yeah, it would mean yeah, mean the world to me there. That's I would love to give blood again, but I just with what I got, I don't think I can, but I sure appreciate it, and there's lots of people out there that they need blood and it saves lives.
Yeah.
We had friends that when Dean was diagnosed, they were like, "What can we do? What can we donate blood? Can we do this? Can we do that?" And it just wasn't an option here. And there's people affected by cancer, not to mention lots of other conditions or traumatic incidents that need it, and other people are then brought to wanting to help. And it's such an easy way to help. It's such an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Donating blood is such a
Yeah, and you get cookies and juice.
That's
They took the
right.
Coca-Cola away, though. I hope they could bring
Oh,
it back at some point.
it's all about the cookies. And
Yeah.
there's beautiful, wonderful people, and you get to visit
Yeah, you
and
bet.
get babied a little bit and hang out and drink some apple
Yeah.
juice. It's good.
Yeah. what do you think, in wrapping up here, what do you think you would tell people about signing the petition or about calling Canadian Blood Services about the importance of having blood donation back in northern BC? They're so far saying no, but what do you think that we need to do differently that would get them to yes?
I, I just think, yeah, you need more people. Squeaky wheel gets a grease. More people to say we need it, how it helps the community. So
I think you're on the right track of telling people's individual stories, making it real. If it's just oh, giving blood is a nice thing to do, um, I think everybody can agree with that, but might not prioritize it in their day or their week. But if people are connected with it, actually makes a real difference in so many people's lives. And if we were able to share more of those stories, I think might get people over that hump. And all I am asking you to do is sign something.
yeah,
Um, and then if when it happens, then yeah, get in the door and put out your arm and you're good to go.
Well, hopefully we can make that happen. And I really appreciate you both telling your story. Thank you so much for that. And I hope that we can make this happen because you've lived the experience not only as donors, but Dean also as a recipient. So hopefully we can make it happen.
if they wouldn't have closed it down and I would have kept donating, like this cancer would have been found probably long before, and treatment could have happened quicker, and it would have just been a better outcome for me, for the healthcare system, for the money spent to do it. Like people got to look at the big picture of everything, not just worrying about them. You can kind of you can kind of see where it's a good thing to give blood, but also it can save your life too, right?
Yeah.
On the other end of just figuring out there is something wrong with you, and
Yeah. Excellent point. Yeah. Thank you both. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
yeah,
Best of luck.
you're welcome.